Over the last few weeks, Aaron Rodgers' Instagram has provided us with some feel-good moments. He decided to skip the Tahoe golf tournament. He took the boys from the Steelers on the offensive side of the ball to Big Sky Country for his last rodeo. And then,
was it their last rodeo before camp?
No, it's Aaron's.
Okay.
They were smoking darts.
They were smoking darts. It was sick. He was riding horses. Yep. What a fit. Absolute awesome fit. And then, he put out his family this week on Instagram as well. So, going into camp, feel-good stories coming out of Aaron, for his last ride, potentially with Big Mike McCarthy as his coach, who was his coach for a long time in Pittsburgh. Obviously, Mike Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach, but, it just kind of feels like there's a lot of good momentum for Rodgers and the Steelers going into the season. What's your read on them going into camp?
The AFC North is interesting, right? You have three teams that have new head coaches and new coaching staffs, including Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and, of course, Cleveland. Cincinnati returns 11 starters on offense, a coaching staff, and added all this stuff on defense. Pittsburgh's been kind of lying in the weeds as far as what they've got. Meanwhile, they added Pittman. They added Jamel Dean. Their rookies last year all played pretty well when called upon. And Rico Dowdle can run. That is I got to tell you, as someone watching from afar and knowing this is such a storyline in Rodgers' life, the fallout with his family and the whole stuff, I don't get into the personal lives. That was really great. It was great. And it just shows you that no bridge can ever be burned. And if he's mentally at peace and is ready for this last ride, which we think it is, let's ride and let's see what happens.
Hell yeah.
I would like to let a lot of people know, in my particular life, bridges can be burnt forever.
Sure.
Okay.
Can we build back bridges, Pat?
In my world, no. But I am happy that, in some cases, I'm happy to see exactly what you're seeing with Aaron and his family. And AJ, I'm sure AJ has thoughts as well. I think AJ's probably super pumped about I think that was a good thing for all of us to see. Was it not, AJ?
Yeah, it's awesome. Especially, the older you get, you realize, of course, you need your family. 100%.
Yes. And I don't know if you got a key to the city or a day or something up there that kind of brought this all together. He was speaking at a city council, seemingly event of some sort of award show. So
yeah, I know part of it was maybe his high school, going into his high school Hall of Fame, that induction. But it might have been something like that as well.
But in between the years, whenever it is all good, that is certainly an indicator for playing football, I believe. So all of these things, all of these things are potential. And he had his reasons for all of it, too. I think a lot of people just blame him. It's you listen to him, he's got his. So there had to be a lot of reconciliation happening there, I do believe. Get that out of your life. I think it does help you professionally, a lot of people say there, Shrakes. I think is what people say.
Yeah. Look, the toxicity in your head can be erased, and suddenly you could focus and not have all these things in the back of your head and saying, I wish that. AJ, he didn't do Accenture this year. He didn't do the Derby, I don't think. A different offseason for Aaron, because those used to be mainstays, tent poles in his offseason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I think he's dialed in. He's absolutely ready to roll for this year. So I think he's kind of here we go. I don't know if it's I'm not saying it's his last year. I know he said that, but I've always said if he can still sling it like he can, he goes and has a good year, who knows how long the dude plays.
AJ thinks Aaron's playing until he's probably 50 because AJ knows that Aaron, push comes to shove, has to make a decision to not play at some point, and he can still spin it, and he can maybe go, whether or not you'll join us when we're live from Pittsburgh Steelers training camp on August 3rd.
I love it.
We will be out
Great
there.
news.
Might be able to get some information. We had a blast there last year. It was so hot.
So hot.
Yeah.
That's coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
That's training camp, though. That's training camp.
Dog days.
That's what we need. We're going to see Mike McCarthy's training camp for the first time.
Oh, yes, please.
Cannot wait. Just to hear the speeches, everything about how the boys are handling it. August 3rd will be a Pittsburgh Steelers training camp. Cannot wait to get started. That's sooner than it is later. That is sooner than it is later. Conman has a question for you. McCarthy's there. Tomlin had been there for...
Steelers Nation, why is nobody talking about what is quietly happening in Pittsburgh? Aaron Rodgers just passed up another offseason event to bring his offensive teammates together, build real chemistry, and prepare for what could be the final ride of his legendary career. The horses, the cowboy outfits, and the campfire made great pictures, sure, but look beyond the Instagram posts. This was a quarterback telling his teammates that the season starts before training camp. And when a veteran like Rodgers begins investing that heavily in relationships, you better pay attention. The national conversation keeps circling around his age. Rodgers is 43, Mike McCarthy is beginning a new chapter, the AFC North is brutal. We have heard every reason Pittsburgh should fail, but almost nobody is asking the opposite question. What if all these pieces actually work? The experts in this conversation said Pittsburgh has been lying in the weeds. That is exactly what this feels like. The Steelers added Michael Pittman Jr., Jamel Dean, and Rico Dowdle. Their younger players gained important experience, and now Rodgers enters camp appearing more focused, more peaceful, and more connected than he has looked in years. That does not guarantee victories, but do not underestimate the importance of a quarterback playing without all that noise living inside his head. Rodgers still has one of the fastest releases in football. He can identify pressure, read coverage, and change the entire play before the defense understands what he has seen. No, he is not going to move or throw the football exactly like the younger Rodgers. Nobody should expect that. But Pittsburgh does not need him to become 28 again. The Steelers need him to stay composed, distribute the ball, and punish defenses whenever they show their intentions too early. Now here is where the conversation becomes even more interesting. Could Pittsburgh consider adding veteran guard Kevin Zeitler before the season? Let me be absolutely clear. There is no confirmed negotiation, no official offer, and no report that a signing is close. This is a potential fit, not breaking news, but from a football perspective, it deserves a serious discussion. Zeitler would bring more than a recognizable name. He would bring years of experience inside some physical offenses and understanding of what it takes to survive in the AFC North. He has faced these defensive fronts, played meaningful football, and developed the kind of professional routine that younger linemen can study every single day. Pittsburgh already has talented young pieces up front, and the organization should continue developing them. But adding a veteran does not have to mean abandoning the future. Imagine a one-year agreement with limited guarantees and incentives based on availability. Zeitler would enter camp without being handed anything. He would compete, provide insurance at guard, and help stabilize the interior if injuries or inconsistency appear. More importantly, he could give Rodgers another experienced communicator directly in front of him. For an older quarterback, interior protection is everything. Pressure coming off the edge can sometimes be avoided by stepping forward. Pressure through the A-gap destroys the entire play before it has a chance to develop. That is why this possible move would not be about creating headlines. It would be about protecting the final ride. Pittsburgh has invested in receivers. The team has added a physical running back. McCarthy is installing his system, and Rodgers appears mentally locked in. It would make sense for Omar Khan to keep monitoring every available offensive lineman who could improve the depth without blocking the development of the younger core. And listen, the Steelers do not need to panic. They should not overpay Zeitler based on what he accomplished years ago. The medical evaluation matters, his movement matters, his willingness to accept competition matters. But if the price is right and the veteran still has enough power to anchor against defensive tackles, that is the type of late addition that can become extremely valuable in December. The AFC North is going through major changes. Pittsburgh is not receiving the same hype as some of its rivals, and honestly, that may be perfect. Let everybody else talk, let everybody else underestimate Rodgers, McCarthy, and this roster. The Steelers can stay quiet, build chemistry, and arrive ready to hit people when the games finally count. There is good momentum in Pittsburgh, and for once, it doesn't feel forced. Rodgers looks ready, the locker room appears connected, the offense has more weapons, and the possibility of adding an experienced guard like Zeitler would only strengthen the idea that this team is preparing for something bigger than a farewell tour. Steelers Nation, would you bring Kevin Zeitler to Pittsburgh on a low-risk one-year deal, or should the team trust its young offensive line? Drop your opinion in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me right now, is this only Aaron Rodgers' last ride, or are the Steelers quietly preparing for one final Super Bowl charge?